everyone, and welcome back to my channel and my new background, where we help hardworking entrepreneurs save more time, stress less, and rediscover the enjoyment of working on their business. I'm Christina, and in this video, I'm going to show you my 6 tried and tested delegation tips to help you delegate work more efficiently. Let's dive right in. Do you ever feel like your workload is getting to be more than you can handle, but every time you try to get help, something doesn't get done quite the way you want? Either your employees completely miss the mark and don't do what you asked for at all, or they get it done, but it's not as good as it would have been if you did it yourself. I've been there too, and I know what it's like. You feel like you won't be able to grow your business if you can't clone yourself. You are out of patience and out of hours in a day, and you needed a solution like yesterday. Sometimes you might just have the wrong person for the job, but if you have the right person, there are a few things that you can do to help them deliver what you're asking for. So today I'm going to show you my 6 favorite tried and tested delegation tips. Let's dive right in. Tip number 1, get people involved from the very beginning. I know that sometimes a project needs to be done fast and it's hard to get everyone together at the same time to get started, so you end up cutting some corners to get it done faster. So you put together briefs and maybe you even do some video walkthrough to explain what you want, but the end result still ends up missing the mark a little bit. Well, the best solution is always going to be to get together with the people that will be working on the project, because when they get a chance to talk and discuss the project, they can get on the same page with you. This time together also allows them to ask questions and fully understand what you want to see out of the project. As soon as you have your project ready to go, you should bring your employees together to let them know the entirety of the tasks that you're undertaking. Let them see from beginning to end how this project will work. This lets them see that the work that they do actually really matters, and it also lets them know that they are part of an interconnected puzzle. They gain a sense of how their contribution will help the project succeed, and so on and so forth. Remember, from your position, you can see every part of the project and how it all fits together. If your project involves specialists like designers or developers, you will get better quality from them if they understand how their tasks fit together into the larger scope of the project. They can also help you advise on certain aspects of the project, so you might end up doing them differently or even better than before and get the best possible results. Having these additional perspectives can help you bring new ideas and improve the success chance of your project. Now, if you're using contractors instead of employees, the advice still stands, but it might be a little bit harder to do. Contractors don't have a vested interest in your business or in helping you grow. And they also aren't as likely to want to be involved in all these larger aspects of your projects. So instead, you might consider just having some strategic meetings with the contractor at the kickoff, review, and final delivery stages of the project. You can also bring your internal experts into these calls to help ensure that the contractor has all the information that they need to deliver on your expectations for your project. When you're assigning a project to someone in your company, they may not understand the more significant motivators for the task that they are being given. This can be part of why you struggle with finding the right people to do the tasks the same way that you would. For example, if you ask someone to write a blog post article for you, they probably understand the topic and they know how to technically write a good article, but they don't understand a lot of other things. What they don't understand is how you feel about the topic, your passions and your motivations for writing about it. They might also not understand how you talk when you're teaching somebody. Are you more technical or are you laid back and fun? What are you hoping to teach a reader? What do you want a reader to do next? And why is that next step so important to them and to your company? If they understood these things, maybe the article will take on a whole new life and be entirely different and more likely something that you would enjoy in the end. You're the one who understands the why behind the work, so that's why you can do it better than everyone else. So please make an effort to explain it to your employees. Tip number 3 is to set clear expectations. When you're assigning a project, you want to give as much detail as possible. So make sure you include a specific list of deliverables you want to receive and be clear on the timelines that you're asking for. You want to make sure that there are no miscommunications on what you want. For example, you might want to include things like all of the deliverables that you're expecting to receive, timelines associated with the project, milestones, final delivery. You also should be including what you don't want. So this could be certain wording, colors, styles, or anything else that you know you don't want to see in the final project. Be very clear if you have specific requirements, such as requiring CMYK for print designs or using WordPress specifically to build a website. You might also want to try assigning a primary point of contact for questions so that the worker knows specifically who to contact. Whatever details you end up giving your employees will be their framework for the project. These details help set your expectations and prevent unnecessary back and forth between you and your teams towards the end of the project. You should also be ensuring that whatever expectations you set are realistic. Look to your past projects and their previous turnaround times, because if it took a graphic designer, let's say a week, to make the last graphic for your last campaign, then it's unrealistic to expect the same quality of work to be done in a single day. Now, how do you know what a realistic deadline is? Well, the best way to learn that is to ask the team or the people that you're going to assign the project to. So ask them if a day is enough time for a graphic, and if they tell you no, then ask what a realistic deadline is. You cannot expect perfect work on an imperfect timeline. If you're upfront and realistic with your team, they can deliver good results at the end of the project. Asking their input on these sorts of things also reaffirms your faith in them as the leader. If they see that you are putting effort into asking for their viewpoints and opinions, and you're relying on their expertise, then you're more likely to have their buy-in when things get tough. Because they know that you're looking out for their best interest. Tip number 5 is to give all of the materials, even the most obvious ones, at the start of the project. Sometimes it's easy to forget that your employees are an expert in one specific subject area and aren't the all-around company expert like you are. So, for example, they may need materials that you use daily because for them, these are materials that they rarely use. So here's a brief list of things you might want to consider giving to your teammates from the beginning of the project. Any kind of copy, text, images, templates, branding guides, logos, login information to software that they might need to access, standard operating procedures. Please include all of them. If you make sure that your team has all this information at the start of the project, then you reduce the likelihood that they will need to ask you for materials halfway through the project and you may not have those materials prepared. Tip number 6 is to let your team edit first. Now, I know how important it is to proofread everything your company will ever put live to ensure it is up to your standards, but you actually don't need to do all of that editing and proofing yourself. While a final check is more than appropriate, you can delegate some of that work to other employees. Start by thinking about what it is that you're actually checking for when you're reviewing a project. So for example, maybe you're paying attention to listening for volume inconsistencies before publishing a podcast, or you're watching a video for glitches on a YouTube advertisement, or checking a website for spelling and grammatical issues before you push it live. Make a cohesive list out of all these things, so based on what you find yourself looking over for when you review, and hand that checklist off to the production team. Your team can then use this checklist themselves as not just a way to check for quality before you come in, but also as a way to see if they're meeting your benchmarks for a project. The goal here is to improve communication between you and your employees. You want to make sure that the work that you need to get done gets done without worrying about fixing mistakes made within your business. So by having more time to focus on your responsibilities and your best skills, you can ensure that tasks are completed to absolute perfection. For more tips and tricks on improving your productivity and getting things done better than ever, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and join our Hive on Facebook. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye!